Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're echoing.
I know I'm echoing. Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from?
On
Let's
the
see.
top. Goes that feedback loop too.
Mic check 1. Mic check 2. Mic check 1. Mic check 2.
Silence them all. Mute them all.
That's what I'm trying to do. Hold on a second. I hate it when this happens. That's muted. That's not muted. Hold on.
Hold
That's
on.
muted. So where could the audio be coming from?
I have no idea.
It's not that. It's not that. Is it this? Hold on a second. I'm gonna.
Okay, now you're gone, period. Hey, I noticed you rebuilt my picture display, our arrangement there.
And see if that helps.
Yeah, no, you're echoing big time.
Hold on a second. I might have to put on.
You're back, but you're echoing.
Mic check 1. Mic check 2. It's coming out of this one. It's coming out of this one. And this one is not turned down. How's that?
There you go. Now your echo's gone.
Now I can't hear. Hold on. All right, try it now.
I said your echo's gone.
Nothing.
Test 1, 2. Test.
Oh,
test.
sweet Jesus. Try it now.
Your mic sounds nice. Check 1. Your mic sounds nice. Check 2.
I had it hooked up a little differently this morning. We got that. We got that. We got that. And then we'll just put these babies on. And we should be done with it. I'm guessing. All right.
I guess I should have gotten here sooner so you could sound check, huh?
No, that's no fun. That is no fun at all.
So I like the picture arrangement you've given me there.
I thought you would.
I do like that, even though I don't like that shirt, that yellow shirt one, but we'll leave it in there for now.
Wait a minute. You sent it to me. Which one are you talking about?
No, the yellow shirt one is the one you picked.
Oh,
you cropped that out of a picture of you, me, and my wife.
Right. Well, you know, there's something for everybody there.
Yeah. So is it just you and me, or?
I don't know.
Because I sent the link out to several people and told them if they're bored, jump in.
Well, your camera shot sucks.
Yeah, I keep trying to get it adjusted right. But what happens is the first thing it does is it moves on the monitor, then it settles back again.
Mic check.
How's that? A little too low now, right?
I like it. Yeah, that's better.
I think it's a little bit too low, but I don't know if I'm going to get it much better. All right, I like that.
Yeah, that's better. Now I can see all the ugly.
Wall to wall, ear to ear, ugly.
So how's your week go, man?
I tell you what, it was nice. Having the Monday as a holiday, right? Tuesday rolled around, it felt like a Monday, and suddenly it was hump day already.
What was Martin Luther King Day was Monday.
Yep. So I do this thing every morning where I come up with a different phrase for the day, and I go to Google Translate, and I type the phrase in, and I pick a different language to translate it to. And then I copy it, and I paste it to my team at work. Something like Happy Thursday, or it's hump day, or hope you have a great day, things like that, and see if they're actually translating it or if they're just replying back good morning. Well, Wednesday, I put it's hump day already and translated it from English into German. And the German phrase it gave me back translated back to it's humpback day.
Oh, no. I was afraid it was like something I'm going to hump you day. And human relations got involved.
No. I always double check the translation because you never know what Google Translate will come back with.
This is true. This
But
is true.
interesting I found with Bing.com/translate
Okay.
is they actually have a Klingon language translator.
Oh, nice. So you
Yeah.
can put "Ich mag Cactua."
No, you can put words and English words in, and it'll give you what's supposed to be a Klingon translation. But if you reverse it from Klingon to English and paste the phrase in, it comes out nowhere near what you.
I think every word in Klingon says this is a made-up language.
Yeah. One of my favorite phrases in Klingon is "kapla."
Kapla.
Yeah, that's kind of like drink up, skull, cheers, but it's like more like good luck when you're heading into battle. You
Okay.
One Klingon tells another one, "kapla."
Nice. Nice. Sounds too much like Kaplooey. Kerplunk. Unbelievable. So did you keep true to what you said and didn't watch the inauguration?
You know it, brother. You know the last figured it out finally. You know the last inauguration I watched?
The last inauguration, I am going to guess Jimmy Carter.
You bingo. That was the last inauguration. I watched the Jimmy Carter. It was the first and the last. And I was like, crap, I got better things to do with my time.
You know, I walked in and out of the room.
You're so cynical. This is an important part of our nation, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I know it is. And I know doing the inauguration is important. And I know that for some, it is the most important thing to never miss every 4 years. To me, it's a complete waste of time.
Well, I understand that all that has to happen.
Yeah, I understand that has to happen. You know, but do they do all that for the congressmen and senators when they get sworn in?
No,
or do they just have a 1 hour?
Because there's 400 of them.
They have a 1 hour ceremony. They all get sworn in, and bam, get to work, you fools.
And that's 400 hours, right? 236 here, 80 over there.
No, it's one hour ceremony, and they're back to work immediately afterwards.
So it's 1 hour for all of them.
For all of them, all at once, 1 hour.
Nice.
And they're back to work immediately afterwards. It's not a whole day of pomp and circumstance. And, you know, so every time I see a presidential candidate, I don't care what party he's from, start talking about, on day one, I look at the screen and say, bullshit. On day one, you're going to go from party to party in Washington, D.C. and wave and smile and enjoy the pomp and circumstance.
That's not day one. That's day zero.
That's day one.
That's not day one.
That's day one.
That is not a full work day.
That's day one. But you did see Biden did stop by the White House and sign a few presidential orders to reverse a bunch of stuff that Trump had done during his 4 years.
Right. So he had half a day in the office. All right. And usually it's not that. You know what I mean? They don't go into
usually
the
it's not even that. It's
but he was in a hurry.
He was in a hurry to undo a bunch of stuff.
Bunch of stuff.
Right. Did you see today that the Canadians ain't happy with him?
I figured that pipeline would piss him off a little bit.
Yeah. Trudeau was going to call him up and give him an earful. And the head guy, or one of the head guys from over in, I forget the territory where the pipeline was coming out of, he was like, and I told Justin Trudeau we should talk about maybe sanctions and other actions against the United States for taking these actions against us. And I'm like, woo, already.
I heard they were going to build a hedge.
Yeah. I looked at the terrain and I was thinking, hey, maybe they could just like send that pipeline over to the coast and then ship the oil from there. And it's like, nah, they're too far away from the coast. It wouldn't be worthwhile. You
know, you think a compromise would be like a pipe inside of a pipe inside of a pipe?
The guy was pointing out, he said, you know, He says, in the United States, there's a bunch of refineries down in Texas that are set up for this type of crude oil that we were going to ship in that pipeline. And the only other place besides us they can get it from is Venezuela.
Okay.
So they ain't buying oil from Venezuela. You know that, right? That may change, but we haven't bought oil from Venezuela in a few years.
Well, here's what I want to know. I want to know what the Indians want them to do. What the people who own the property that this is going through want to happen. You know what I mean?
Have you ever gotten involved in any of the politics of the Lakota Indians?
I have not.
Okay. Do some research on the Lakota Indians. They're the main tribe all throughout that region. And underneath their land in Nebraska, the Dakotas, and Iowa, and all that, there's probably more oil underground in that area than there is up in Canada, but it can't be pumped because of federal regulations. The Lakota Indians, I want to go back about 10 or so years ago now, they had this one really radical young Lakota Indian who was trying to convince tribal elders to secede from the United States, to take back their territory on the grounds that the United States has never honored a single treaty it signed with the Lakota Indians. And they were talking about forming their own nation right in the heart of the United States, and that anybody, not just Lakota Indians, anybody could join their new country, and there would be no taxes because they would start pumping their own oil and selling it, and that's how they would fund their new country.
Well, aren't Indians already sovereign nations, Timmy? Aren't they already not under the guise of the United States?
Again, like this man said, the United States of America has never honored a single treaty it signed with the Lakota Nation, period.
So sovereignty is one of the things that it hasn't honored.
Correct. Look at remember the up in Mass, right? Do you remember the Wampanoag Indians down there? They had a reservation down in Mashpee, Mass.
No, I don't remember it.
Okay, so Wampanoag Indians had a reservation down in Mashpee, Mass, which is in the middle near Sandwich, down a 2-lane road that couldn't support much traffic. So they wanted to take advantage of the fact that the federal government says they're the sovereign nation, they can build a casino and make some money that way. And the state of Massachusetts, for as long as I can remember, and I'm 58 years old, the state of Massachusetts has been fighting the Wampanoag Indians, and at every turn they have defeated everything the Wampanoag Indians have ever tried to get a casino. So the federal government says they have the right to a casino. The state of Massachusetts is blocking every effort.
And well, why do they have to ask? Germany doesn't ask us to open a casino. Canada doesn't ask us to open a casino. Why are they even asking?
Because they're surrounded by the United States.
And your point is what? Russia's surrounded by other countries too. They're not asking China if they can put in a casino.
How do you get people into a reservation if they don't cross United States property?
Doesn't matter. Now that's how they can. That's how they can thwart it. That's how they can thwart it. They can cut off highway access or any U.S. roads.
That's exactly what the state of Massachusetts has done. So the Wampanoag said, "Okay, here's the deal. Our little reservation down in Mashpee, Massachusetts, is in the middle of nowhere. There's no way we've got enough land to build a casino. We barely got enough land to house our people. So we're going to go out and make a deal for some other land and get it declared by the federal government as tribal property and a reservation." And
they just need to build a high rise.
Housing on the bottom, the roads going into. If you look at Route 132 is the road that goes by the reservation, and Mashpee. Route 132 is one lane in each direction through some podunk towns. They just couldn't support the traffic.
Well, we've got a casino up north in this little town, and it's a 2-lane road. You get off the highway, 2-lane road to a 2-lane road to a 2-lane road to get to the casino. I assumed one of the first things they were going to do was going to be to, fix the road, make the road bigger. But they didn't. Oh, I need to turn on my light. I'm a little dark, aren't I? That one, and then this one. That one's on, and that one's on. Interesting. Okay, this one's not on.
Yeah, you don't. It's like you're missing lighting in front of you. There you go.
There we go. Now
you got lighting overhead, but you didn't have lighting in front of you.
Now I'm cute again. How you like that?
Did Sharima sneak back in?
I haven't seen Sharima in a little while. They've been running her crazy at her job.
She was here 2 weeks ago, but I know last week she at least sent you a message and told you she couldn't get on.
Right.
She right. Be able to jack in.
I know that where she works is dealing with that new COVID money.
Uh-huh.
So I bet you they put all hands on deck.
I was in a meeting this morning at my job, and they were saying if you can come up with any way to spend money that you can justify is COVID related, give it to us. We got all this grant money sitting here available that we need, but you absolutely need to be able to convince the comptroller beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was directly related to COVID.
Right. Okay.
So I said to my boss today, I said, you know what? I'm working from home and I'm using my personal computer and it keeps shutting down on me. I think I just need a new computer that work buys me because I'm working from home due to COVID.
And he said,
I'll talk to the boss on Monday.
All right. Well, I was trying to find the highway you were talking about.
What, Route 132? You got to go over the Sagamore Bridge. Go south on Route 3. Go over the Cape Cod Canal.
I'm looking for Route 3.
Go south. Go south from there. Go south. Yep, south. Keep going right along the coast.
There's Route 3. Okay.
Okay, now you follow Route 3 down over the Cape Cod Canal. Just a little bit further now. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Cape Cod Canal. So 132 is going to be right in that area. Zoom in right there around, right there in that area. Zoom in. And you might have to go a little bit further north again because it's just over the bridge. There's 132. Route 3. Okay, make sure
that's Route 6.
Okay, yeah, Route 6. Yeah, Route 3 becomes Route 6.
Okay.
After it crosses over the canal. So you scroll in a little bit, zoom in a little bit more. A little bit more. All right, now go a little bit southeast. Now, where is 6? Come on, 132. 132 is in Sandwich. The exit's in Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Somebody just jumped in. Hold on a second. Let me see. Oh, it's Chuck.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back up to the back up to the Cape Cod Canal. All right. There's the canal. Right. Zoom in. Yep. There's the Sagamore Bridge. So zoom in right there, and that's not going to be. Go south. All right. Now go south. No. Don't zoom out. Stay zoomed in. All right, and just stay down over 6. It's because it's the next exit down from that first exit. Where the hell is 132? It's not that much further down. tell you, you're using Google, right?
This is Google Earth, yeah.
Okay, you're looking for Mashpee, Massachusetts.
Man, there isn't an exit yet from the canal. I haven't seen a way off of this thing yet.
Okay, it's got to be coming up because it's not that far down.
There we go.
Okay, which one's that? Is that 132 or is that Sandwich Road?
Let me get in. And
That looks like it might be 132. Yep, that's 132 because that's my boss's old gravel pit, that big blotch of dirt.
Right there.
That's my boss's old gravel pit. Well, my old boss's gravel pit.
Okay.
He still owns it. I don't work for him anymore. So keep scrolling. Now you're heading west. So keep scrolling there on 132, and there's going to come a lake. So you see how out rural this is, right?
Right.
All right. Is that the right lake? No, that's not the right lake.
It says this is another gravel pit.
Yeah, that's another gravel pit. That's an OBGYN office. It's somewhere right around, where in the hell is that now? Keep scrolling a little bit. I mean, yeah, keep going. A little bit further, a little bit.
At the airport.
Okay, okay, no, that's not the right road.
But it's out here in the boonies.
It is. It's in the
boonies. There's not
boonies.
much boonies down there on the Cape. Come on, that's just a small area regardless.
132 is just, so what they did was they made a deal for some property at the junction of routes, I want to say it's routes 495 and 24 in Middleborough. Big piece of land, major highways, exits right off of the highways onto the property and all that. And they got the deal done and they got the casino done and everything else. And now the state of Massachusetts is fighting them on getting it designated as an Indian reservation.
Of course.
To keep them from building that casino.
So is the state already invested in casinos elsewhere, and is that why they don't want to step down
they don't want casinos, period, in the state of Massachusetts. They would rather watch all that casino money go over the border in Connecticut to the 2 casinos in Connecticut than to have casinos in Massachusetts.
Well, I mean, it's a choice. It's a choice. Yeah. I mean, you guys still got dry counties. You got blue laws, so why wouldn't you have that kind of nonsense?
Well, they finally got rid of the blue laws. It surprised the hell out of me. They finally got rid of the blue laws.
What?
Yep, you can buy alcohol on a Sunday now in Massachusetts.
But I mean, I thought it was a whole bunch of stuff in the blue laws, like stores had to close at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and
well, most of that's all gone. But the biggest thing that was left of blue laws when I was living up there was if you didn't pick it up by 10:59 p.m. on Saturday night, you weren't getting it until Monday morning, unless you had a military ID card and was willing to travel to one of the military bases.
Wow.
Or drive over the border into New Hampshire.
Wow. Hey, Jeff, you just getting in here, or did I have you down there for a while?
You said 9:15, but I was trying to do something. I just failed at it. I was trying to put this on the big screen at the same time having on my phone. I just couldn't get to work.
Oh, you're trying to screencast?
Well, no, I got this app called Facebook Watch on Amazon's Fire TV.
Okay.
Well, you can watch live broadcasts, people on Facebook, either the videos or the live cast.
Right.
I couldn't find the channels what it was. I think that's what it was. I went the wrong part.
Yeah, you got to go to the YouTube and look up the stream in YouTube.
Oh, I was on Facebook. I need to go to YouTube then.
Yeah. You got to look up
on Facebook too, but I mean, when you click it on Facebook, it takes you to YouTube, I think, right?
Yeah, you look up WFOV on Facebook. and you'll be able to bring it up.
Okay, well, I'll try it next week then. I didn't realize that. I was trying to go through this app called Facebook Watch. You can download it for Apple TV. It's on Amazon Fire. I think it's on Roku.
Well, it should be a feed on Facebook that does not go to YouTube, if I think about it, because I've told the software to stream directly to Good People, City Council viewers, WFOV, and the only one that says that it couldn't get to was the Good People page. So it's streaming on FOB's Facebook, on City Council viewers' Facebook.
I think I looked up one of the wrong channels. I think you got more than one Facebook account, correct?
Yes.
I think I put the wrong ones, but I did. I said, let's get to miss this thing. I'll try it later.
Okay. Nice.
Anyway, how y'all doing this week?
Man, we're enjoying life. Timmy didn't watch the inauguration. Did you?
I watched some of it. It's such a.
I just found it on the WFOV.
I believe that we got some sanity in the White House right now.
I just found it in the WFOV Facebook.
So you can try the WFOV Facebook, Jeff.
Okay, I will. I sure will. Thank you, too.
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Jeff?
Doing good. Good week, and been a little cold, but other than that, not bad.
Great.
A little cold? What do you mean a little cold? What's a little cold?
Well, down here, when we stuck in the upper 30s for high, that's cold for us. That's probably warm for y'all up in Michigan. But that's pretty chilly down here for us. Most of the we get in the upper 40s, around 50. That's our normal temperature in January.
Wow. Man, it's 16 degrees outside.
Oh, y'all used to that.
I thought I was going to be able to do the show from my outdoor broadcast studio tonight, but as soon as that sun went down, man, that temperature started to plunge. I said, okay, we're staying indoors tonight.
That's what it is here. I mean, it got to like 54 degrees today, but it just, as soon as the sun went down.
Looks like somebody keeps trying to jack in there, Paul.
Yeah, that's Chuck. I don't know if he paid his internet bill or not, but it keeps spinning. I think he owes Comcast some money.
They will cut you off if you don't pay them.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
They sure will.
So, who's your cell phone company, Timmy?
Mine is T-Mobile.
That's who I got now. I had Sprint, but we T-Mobile now.
Right. Well, they're not completely switched out. I just went to the I went to go pay off my devices yesterday. I had 2 devices that I was still renting. You know what I mean? Or leasing.
Right.
Paying payments on.
So I went in to pay them off, and I'm sitting in there, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to upgrade. I'm interested in this BOGO plan you got. Buy one, get one. And she says, well, you don't qualify for that because you're not a T-Mobile customer. Or because you are a T-Mobile. What did she say? She said because you're already a T-Mobile customer because of the merger.
Through acquisition, yeah.
Right. And I said, so now I don't qualify. She said, well, if you want to get all new phone numbers, you can get the BOGO deal. But you can't use your current phone numbers for it.
Over because the system ain't going to do it.
Right.
That's kind of a fun deal.
And then they wanted to charge me to transfer my account over to some kind of way. You know what I mean? And it was like, well, why would I do that when you're going to have to eventually do that on your own?
Right.
You're not in our system yet, Mr. Herring. You're still a Sprint customer.
Let me tell you what's funny. I went to the mall this week for the same thing, but just to pay the bill. And we had side by side, we had a Sprint store and a T-Mobile store. Now we got just a T-Mobile. The Sprint's closed up.
Okay.
They closed the first year. I didn't know it. But I could go in there and pay my bill at T-Mobile, no problem. That's what I did.
Uh-huh.
They pulled my account and everything else. I asked about it. I said, when y'all going to switch over? She says, we don't know. I said, y'all got to change the SIM cards out and all. She said, she explained something like a DNS server or something. It's the same. So
that's all it is that and they're taking over the network and repointing your phone. So when your phone hooks up to the tower and asks, okay, where should I be connected to? The DNS is a domain name server. So when you open up a web browser and you type in like yahoo.com,
right,
Okay, what happens is your computer goes to a DNS server and says, I need the internet address for yahoo.com.
Right.
And then the DNS server gives your computer a multiple digit with decimals in it. They call it a four octet if it's IPv4, and a little bit more confusing if it's IPv6. But it gives it a number address, and that's how your computer actually finds. It doesn't find it by looking for a server out there on the internet named yahoo.com. It asks the DNS server, can I have the address for yahoo.com?
Oh, digits. I got you.
So that's all they do is the Sprint computers or the Sprint phones know that they're supposed to go to this DNS name, and so they go query for the IP address of that DNS name, and the DNS pointer is just changed to the T-Mobile servers.
Kind of RL forwarding or something like that, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like going to the post office and saying, "Hey, I'm trying to get this email or this letter over to Jeff," and the post office says, "Okay, well, you need to address it to this street address then."
Man, don't go to the post office and mention my name. Oh man.
You ain't seen my picture hanging in your post office?
I'm ready to go to the post office. I might see mine. Hey, that guy worth $5,000. Get him.
Yeah.
Poor Chuck. Chuck can't get in, man. Chuck's just a spinning. I thought it might be my computer out of memory or something because I had 5 screens going, but I shut off the green screen. I kicked out the other feeds I had going, and nothing. He's just a spinner.
Chuck. It's Chuck. He can't connect.
He can't connect. Poor Chucky.
Maybe he's using that 2 tin cans and a string network.
That's what I'm thinking. Either that or he's hijacking his neighbor's Wi-Fi.
I'm hoping he's listening to us at least pick on him so you can.
Well, there are no comments yet, so I don't think that's the case. I think he's just stuck where he is in limbo.
Hey, is that Paul Jr. over your left shoulder?
Yes. Wait a minute. How you like that?
Yeah, you got your background. I know you got your background. I see the primo there, and I see handsome Paul Herring Jr.
Yes, indeed. That's my boy right there out in the garden, man. We were doing the harvesting from the garden, so he's got a nice little fruit basket or a basket of vegetables in his hand. You can't see.
Just reminded me of something. Have you been seeing all of the Bernie Sanders memes popping up on Facebook the past few days?
I've just seen him sitting down with his gloves on. Is there another one?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. There's
one
where he's in the back seat of the car between Cheech and Chong and the movie Up in Smoke.
But it's the same picture. Everybody's taking the same picture and putting
it all over the place.
They cropped them out on inauguration day.
Right. I thought it was hilarious. I loved it. One of my neighbors is sitting on her steps, and he's sitting next to her.
Go look at my Facebook feed. You'll see a bunch of them up there that I've shared, and one of them is from the show Big Bang Theory.
I love Big Bang Theory.
Bernie's on the couch, and Sheldon's going, "Leonard, he's in my spot."
I was about to say, was he in Sheldon's spot? Don't tell me he was in Sheldon's spot.
There's 2 in there that are just hilarious. Well, I think the Cheech and Chong one is my favorite, but the Big Bang Theory comes in a close second.
Well, that's supposed to be the webcam. Apparently, I didn't tell it to. Hold on a second. I gotta tell it stop screen, start screen. Chuck's still trying to get in.
Keep trying, Chuck. Don't give up.
Don't give up, man.
So that should pull up Timmy's Facebook.
You know what's happening is he's out there in Arizona, and they know he's connecting to a show back in Flint, Michigan. They ain't gonna let him.
Holy moly, Batman! What is that?
That's a side of ribs.
From what? Elephant?
Brontosaurus.
You can't even eat one of those.
but I'd sure be happy trying.
Got it.
Eat one of those.
You're getting into the Bernies.
Finally got it.
A friend of mine back up in Situate that loves tequila. Look at Bernie doing that. Getting it with.
How do you sleep at night, Timmy?
Keep going though. There's some.
Turn it sideways. I can see this.
No, it's
Oh.
Scroll down.
That's the uncle guy. That guy from Asia.
Yeah, from Korea, South Korea.
I'm waiting. Where's Bernie?
No, scroll down, man. That's not there. You got to scroll down. It's in there. There's several Bernies in there. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
D.
And there's another one just below that. Him sitting on the Patriots bench with. he's with Cam Newton on the Patriots bench.
Oh my goodness! Why are they doing this to Bernie?
I have no idea. It's just busted out all over. Bernie's just there he is with Cheech and Chong. He's giving him the joint. I saw that one, and all I could hear in the background was Bernie singing Rick James. Pass the joint.
No, I like that one. He's in my spot. You're gonna have to get him going. My doctor told me to eat more fish.
Well, he showed up in the inauguration, kind of like cheap suit on, and had a big yellow envelope underneath his arm, and someone looked like he's a public defender or something showing up for court.
Well,
someone said, if your public defender show up like that, just go to the plea bargain, man. That's your best bet.
I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand why. Why did he go viral like that? What did he do? Did he do something at the inauguration?
Something about that picture.
He like he went by Goodwill, got him a cheap suit.
Apparently, he was given an interview, and the reporter kept harping on those gloves.
Well, I heard an NPR interview about
it was the mittens.
About the woman who made the mitten, and she said she made those for him in 2015.
Yeah, I saw that. Sure did. And then when people found out he had them, everybody wanted them. But she wasn't trying to make a bunch of them. She just did it for him. Right.
She said she wasn't planning on quitting. She's a school teacher.
Right.
And she's not going to quit to start making money off of it.
Because you think about up in Maine, they're cold up. They're probably colder than y'all up in Maine.
Right. Up in Vermont, where he's at? Oh, yeah. That where he's at up in Vermont, and it's a lot of hilltop. I got a friend of mine bought the whole top of a mountain up there.
That's why he's from Vermont. He's not from Maine. I think about Maine. He was from.
Yeah, he's from Vermont. Yep.
That's still cold. That's the close enough.
Real cold. I haven't done Vermont. I've done Maine and New Hampshire. But both of those I did in the summertime. Well, no, I did New Hampshire in the wintertime once, but I did Maine in the summertime. I
come close. The furthest I got north was Boston.
Okay.
And you felt that chill and headed right back down south again, didn't you?
Yeah.
and it was June, Timmy.
It's assigned seating. If you don't know no one, just don't go sit anywhere in a bar. They'll tell you to get your ass up. That's a different world up there.
Oh, yeah. It's and the funny part is it was voted the place with the nicest people, and I'm like, really? Where in the hell did they go? Because you can't prove that by me. And I used to live up there.
So you're saying Vermonters aren't as nice as Bernie wants us to believe they are? Huh?
The funny part is Vermont state has a motto. You know what it is?
Don't tread on us.
Nah, we from Vermont. We do what we want.
You are so wrong.
I was taught that by a guy from, well, it was a bunch of guys. I went up to Laconia for bike weekend one time and ended up camping at this place called Yogi Bear's Yellowstone Forest. And right behind us was a bunch of guys from Vermont camping. Oh man, them dudes, they I'll tell you what, them boys weren't right. But that's all you kept hearing all weekend out of them. We from Vermont, we do what we want.
Oh my goodness.
But you know, Boston's a good sized city, but you don't hear much about it really. You know, the biggest thing you heard in the last 10 years was a bomb. You know, the bomber who did the marathon. But other than that, you don't hear much out of Baltimore. I mean, Boston.
Out of Boston?
Yeah.
I don't know. Boston to me was the most segregated city I'd ever been in.
Yeah, and people all the time, they don't want to believe me when I tell them the worst racism I've ever experienced was when I was living in Massachusetts. They all know you've been down in North Carolina, you were down in Florida. That's where they all at. And I said, no. I said, the difference is if I walk in the wrong place or approach the wrong person in Florida or North Carolina, I knew right away. I was under no certain terms. I was told right away that I was in the wrong place or I didn't belong there or what have you. In Massachusetts, I had boys slapping me on the back and having drinks with me and calling me nigger behind my back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Going in the bathroom. How are we going to roll this, brother?
Yeah. You know, I had a guy, one of my favorite stories, this guy, I've been to his house, had many beers with him. He'd been to my house, drank beer. When it came time that at the time I was still driving 18-wheel dump truck, and he was driving a 10-wheeler, and he wanted to get licensed to drive 18-wheel. All of his other buddies that weren't black turned him down, told him they wouldn't help him. He come to me and he said, would you help me get my Class A CDL? I said, sure, no problem. Boss said to me, listen, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to punch out. It's going to be on your own time. I said, no problem. I sacrificed a few Saturdays, got this kid to the point where he could pass a road test. He got his Class A CDL. Not even 2 weeks later, he's telling people that I'm a token hire and I'm in his way for getting into an 18-wheel dump truck.
Well, you know, everybody wasn't raised by Rosalie Bulu, Timmy.
That's it.
You know, everybody wasn't raised by Rosalie, so they don't have the same moral compass that you have.
Man, you know, it's like, but that was it. You know,
why did all his other friends turn him down? Was it that just time consuming, or was he a dick?
They weren't going to sacrifice overtime pay to help him out. The friendship wasn't that strong that they were willing to sacrifice their overtime pay to help him out. To me, you know, if somebody's trying to get ahead, I'm going to try to help somebody get ahead.
Right.
Until you show me that you ain't worth my help. If you need my help to get ahead, I'm going to try to help you. So at that time, I figured he was, you know, he hadn't shown me any reason to not think he was worth helping. So I helped him. After that, no more help.
So let me ask you this: what's going on Fox News, Timmy? You watching and?
Honestly, for about 2 weeks, I didn't turn on any news. Period.
Good for you.
All right, for just about 2 weeks because I was just I'm at that point, and I stayed away from Facebook, and I came back to Facebook a couple of days ago, and I'm like, okay, it's got to all be over, right? Because I mean, the election's been certified. Biden's getting sworn in. Oh, it's got to be all over, right? Nah, I'm still scrolling right by posts that I don't want to read because it's nothing but political bull. Right. And I'm not there anymore. And so I stayed away from the news. Now, today I did turn on the news. I watched the press secretary for the White House give her briefing. I watched the guy that she brought up to try to explain to us what all's in this new almost $3 trillion stimulus package that they want to put together. And like I said to my daughter, I said my favorite part of that whole part was when somebody asked them the question, why are we cutting a new stimulus bill with new spending when the money allocated, all of the money allocated in the very first stimulus bill still has not been spent? And he came back with, and I'm surprised the reporter didn't double back on him. They're saying the reason the money did not get spent previously, under the previous administration and previous arguments, was because they over allocated money for specific things, and there's nobody coming to ask for that money, so it's not needed for what they allocated it for. And basically his excuse was, but we've already allocated that money for something, so we need to leave it there and ask for more money. Instead of, understanding what the guy was saying to him was, well, you've got this.
Reallocate that money.
Yes, it's like $600 billion. Let's reallocate that money to where it could do some good, rather than have it just sit there in this fund that nobody's applying for.
Right. Well, I think that was the banks and the other corporations that were too embarrassed to apply for the assistance. Google is not going to sign up for COVID help.
After seeing what happened to Harvard with its $63 billion of endowment, and asked for COVID relief money.
Right.
They were like, "Whoa, hey,
they got to be careful applying for that stuff. That's a bad look."
Yeah. So that's why I think a lot of that 600
on the first one they did.
Right. On the first round they did, Jeff.
They got caught.
Right. So several entities that should never have applied for relief because they didn't need the money.
Oh no.
But they qualified for it, but they didn't need it. Applied for it, and then it was thrown up in the public specter that, hey, entities like Yale and Harvard and Boston College and a bunch of other entities that have
Goldman Sachs and Chase
have multi-million to billion-dollar reserves that didn't need the federal government bailout, applied for it anyways. And so that embarrassed a bunch of people that said, you know what? I ain't applying for that. My company's not going to get that kind of bad press.
Because the PR is $3 for every dollar you get.
Right.
And that's why we have a surplus now.
So you got that, in that fund, you got that it's like $600 billion. So instead of taking that $600 billion and using it somewhere else, they're saying, no, we need to leave it there. This is what the guy was explaining today. We need to leave it there because we already allocated it for that. And then we need new money to do other things with. And it's like, wait a minute. I mean, seriously.
Just take $1 billion and fix.
Oh, if you turn around and say, okay, this money's been sitting here for almost a year. If you haven't applied for it by now, you don't need it.
Right.
The money's there. Let's reallocate it. And that's that much less money that the federal government has to borrow. They're talking about greatly expanding the SNAP program, right? And they're saying, well, we have to make it work within the allocated budget. So they're looking for how to make that the increased SNAP program work within the allocated budget. Well, there's $600 billion sitting there doing nothing.
Take $10 billion of that. You can feed the whole country.
Allocate that to give it to the SNAP. I mean, it don't make sense. You have people that need the SNAP program. Help them out.
Yeah, I agree.
But don't borrow more money when we got money doing nothing that we've already borrowed. That's like going to the bank and borrowing $100,000 to buy a house, not buy the house, and then go borrow another $250,000 to buy a different house.
That's they were doing that in 2006, by the way.
Well, if you can afford the payments, it becomes your summer house, Timmy.
Man, brother, have you looked at the federal budget lately? I mean, I don't mean the segments that people like to release. I'm talking about the entire
Yeah.
federal budget.
What I heard was that Trump spent more than any other president in history, other than a couple of wartime presidents,
During
$8 trillion.
Here is the key in that. During his presidency, yes, that money was spent. During his presidency, that money was spent, but it wasn't all on his priorities. It was his priorities plus Congress's, and that was the thing that pissed me off. That's where he started losing me. Was, you know, he come in, he wanted those tax cuts, he wanted a couple of other things, he wanted that border wall. So what did he do? He sacrificed larger spending on other programs in order to get what he wanted, when all that adds up to deficit spending.
Yeah.
And that to me, that's the problem.
But he didn't get the wall built. Did he get the wall built, Timmy?
He got parts of the wall built. But
Parts of the wall.
one of the first things that Biden did, one of the first executive orders Biden issued, was to stop construction of the border wall.
Good.
Okay, that was one of the first presidential orders. But you know,
I mean, now, when you talk about him building the border wall, he built 1/10 of a mile or 4 miles of 7,000 right?
That's where the game gets played, because what they're saying is net new versus the what was rebuilt of the failing existing wall. So the first thing they did was go about trying to replace failing existing wall, and then try to build some net new. So there was a little of both going on. So that, you know, that's the game.
But no, come on now, Timmy. The argument is I'm going to build a wall, not I'm going to rebuild the wall.
Well, the thing
is, my assumption from that is that he was going to build new wall. Not
that was the intention. The intention was for it to be new wall from one end to the other. That's what the intention was. So there was a lot of old wall that had to be replaced to end up with a new wall from one end to the other.
Well, isn't that what Bannon is under investigation for scamming people and taking donations for the wall?
Yeah, I think that's what he's under investigation for.
He took $25 million, I think it was.
It's going to be interesting. I don't know, what does impeachment look like after you're out of the office?
Well,
that's the just thing. Get sanctioned or slap on the hand.
There's a big argument going back and forth right now about whether it's even legal. But here's what what I've heard the stated objective of this is to end up with a conviction in the Senate. So then the sentence becomes Trump can never run for office ever again because he has threatened to run for president again in 2024.
That's enough for me. That justifies the impeachment right there for me, because I see him as being an obstructionist for the next 4 years, and every time he doesn't like something, he's going to threaten to run.
Right. So the deal is that understand that that the question is now at a constitutional level. Is it constitutionally viable to impeach a former president? Because
I'm going to say that the articles of impeachment were initiated while he was president.
But that does not factor into what the argument is on the day the actual trial commences.
No, Timmy, it can't be.
I'm telling you, you've got to be listening, because that's
so I'm the mayor of the city.
The purpose of removing.
I'm the mayor of the city. I do something rotten. I get impeached and I quit the next day, so I don't get impeached anymore.
If you think about it, okay, go back to before Jimmy Carter was president, before Gerald Ford was president. Who was the president that did get impeached in the House but was never tried in the Senate because he resigned in order to avoid the Senate trial?
And his pension, and to keep his pension, and to keep his security force, and to keep his ability to be able to run for president again.
Richard Nixon resigned because the Republicans in the Senate told him, if this comes to trial in the Senate, you will be convicted. So he resigned rather than let it come to trial in the Senate.
But Trump did not resign.
Right? Trump his term ended.
His term ended, but he did not resign. I'd imagine resigning is a whole different animal.
See, that's where the problem with the constitutional argument. They keep saying that you can't resign to avoid impeachment. Well, Nixon did resign to avoid impeachment. Trump didn't have to resign. Trump was no longer president as of noon on Wednesday.
So you can't impeach somebody that's not a president.
Correct. That's where the constitutional argument is coming in. Is can they actually go through with this impeachment?
No, I'm going to have to say that he was the president when the impeachment started.
Right. But
and regardless of whether he quits afterwards or not. And like you said, I mean, I think it was a plea deal that the Senate gave Nixon. It was either we're going to impeach you or you resign. And he chose to resign, which stopped them from going through the impeachment procedure.
Here's the other question that I've also heard. And you may not want to think about it, but you have to back up and think about it from a standpoint of being objective. Look at the actual definition of insurrection, because that's all it is, one charge of inciting insurrection. Look at the actual definition of what that's called, inciting insurrection, and then tell me you can get into a court of law with enough evidence, because there are some people that say there is no evidence there that he incited. Give the exact word, the phrasing, where he told those people to go attack the Capitol building and hurt people.
I see what you're saying. He did not use those words exactly.
Right. So,
but his son said we had to nail him up to the walls.
Yeah, in a court of law.
I would think that a culmination of all the speakers and the rhetoric of all the speakers combined and his complacency with it would at least put him in a conspiratorial position.
Right. You have to go in front of the Senate. Now, if all 100 senators show up for the trial, that means you've got to get 75 senators.
67.
Huh?
67, you got to have 2/3.
I don't think it's going to be hard. I don't think it's going to be hard. He has been threatening those people and dogging them out for 4 years.
I don't think
I don't know that he has a whole lot of friends.
I don't think you get 67. You might get 65, but I don't think you get 67, because that means that you've got to get 17 Republicans.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's 22 of them being charged with sedition right now that might not be senators by the time the vote comes.
They will not be charged with sedition. I know that there are Democrats who would love to charge them with, but if you look at history, then Nancy Pelosi should be charged with sedition because she has questioned the validity of a certification of a presidential election in a state. So just questioning the validity of a certification of an election in a state is not something that is uncommon, and it is not seditious.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, wait. You just started that sentence off saying Nancy Pelosi needs to be charged with it because she said something about election results.
Those two senators, there's two senators, the one Cruz from Texas, and I forget the other guy's name, who Democrats want investigated and brought up on charges of sedition because they questioned the validity of the certification of elections in a state. What I'm saying to you, if that is seditious to question it, then Nancy Pelosi is also guilty of sedition because she has done that.
Nice. Listen,
okay.
Fucking come in my eyes, you nigga. Oh, come in my eyes, fucking nigga.
It says Amy.
Fucking come in my eyes, you fucking nigga.
Sounds like our buddy's back there.
Our buddy's back.
Oh, fucking.
All right, Amy. Man, why do people even make the effort to do that?
Yeah, just because it makes them a champion. Now, if I remember right, that guy has his own podcast going on right now, or his own stream going on right now. So he's got a bunch of followers that think the same way he does. So now he looks like a hero because he jumped on your show and did that.
Interesting. Well, I like him. Hey,
Fucking
Amy,
come in my eyes.
how you doing, baby?
Yes, get
How you doing?
over my
Hold
eyes.
on, let me tell your
Get
mother
that
to
nigga
say
come in
hello.
my
Let me
eyes.
tell your
Yes, so
mother
I'm
to say
blind. I want
Hey,
That word aggravates the hell out of me. And anybody that wants to use it, I got no need to talk to them. I don't even want to hear them any further.
I know that's right.
I bet he's the one that's calling in on city council meeting, cussing out different ones on the phone. Remember that back about a couple months ago?
No, I'm pretty sure that was orchestrated by somebody else.
Okay.
You know who, right?
Oh,
I'm
wait,
not gonna call. I'm not gonna call any names that would not be would not be right.
right.
But I'm guessing you have your sneaking suspicions.
I have suspicions. I do. I really, really do. And actually, I've designed a way to do the meetings that would avoid that.
Yeah.
You know, we just need to have two call-in numbers, one for the council, one for the public, and an audio mixer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So he's sending everybody else, and at least this one's got a picture. Hold on. DS Phil. Hello, DS Phil.
come
How are
in
you?
my eyes. Yes, nigga, come in.
Hey, guy.
What do you do, Paul? Oh, man.
At least, wait a minute. At least he has a picture. Hold on. Let me mute him, and we can look at his photograph, and we can crack on.
Come in my eyes. Yes, come in my eyes. You fucking nigga.
We can crack
Yes,
on that
open my
photo
eyes
there.
and put it all
Nice.
in.
You know who he looks like?
Coon.
Oh,
You ever follow Doug Demure on the
Coon.
YouTube? He does car
Coon.
reviews. That's who it looks like, Doug Demure, but it's not him. I know it's not.
Coon.
right. Well, I guess his mom should be proud of him. She raised a good human being, somebody that's sensible and understands that tolerance is a good thing. So that's nice to know. And once she stopped prostituting, she probably had him.
No,
Yeah.
I question that because I two birds bumped ass and he's what dropped out.
We're going to set him up as the poster child for abortion.
Something's come in his eye. Is that what he's saying?
Let's see.
Yeah, he'll be the poster child for abortion.
There you go.
What do we got? We got 10 o'clock, guys. It's time to say goodnight. Timmy, round it off. What do you got?
All right, people. Silly season's over. The inauguration is over. Let's try to come back together and remember that first and foremost, we're all Americans, and we need to get along with each other.
Nice. Jeff, what you got?
I'm going to reiterate what he said. We got to get along and start moving forward. This crap is behind us. We got brighter days ahead. Let's take full advantage of it. Let's make things happen, especially in Flint. Flint needs all the help they can get. This stuff's got to stop in Flint. Like all these shootings, everything else you see, it's got to stop. There's no excuse for this mess. We got to start moving forward now in a positive manner.
I agree 100%. 100%. And I just want to let everybody know that I am tolerant of everyone who believes as I do.
Amen.
No, wait a minute. That's wrong. I got to be tolerant of everybody regardless of what they believe.
Enjoy the
I'll be tolerant of
authenticity.
those people, and I'll be admirant of those who agree with me on everything. How's that?
Yeah.
I
We
like,
always are.
I like the I've got a T-shirt that says coexist,
Yeah.
and it has all the religious symbols of all the religions.
Yeah.
But I heard an even better one today, and it said they said humanity came before religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we all just practice humanity, we got a good foundation, right?
Amen.
So I'm going to encourage those that are watching at home or watching at home. If you want to do what we do, if you have a group of friends that you'd like to have some meaningful conversation with, give us a call at 810-239-2901. That's 810-239-2901. Listen, we are determined to make a difference, and we need you to too. 810-239-2901. And as always, enjoy the life you're living, just until you can live
the life you'll enjoy.